What's the biggest no-no in the first date? Talking about yourself and not asking questions. I had a date a few weeks ago who didn't ask me a single question for an hour. Edit. I just wanna add. Not even a back quote what about yourself when I asked a question. I have really good speaking ability, but even I was mad impressed with myself that I somehow was able to keep that conversation going for 60 whole frigging minutes with such full stops to every answer. After that she got a little drunk and started actually asking me stuff. She also wanted to see me again, lol, no thank you. I like keeping myself sane. Did we have the same date? Yup. Were you the date? If she brings her parents along. I once had a booty call through Tinder a few stops away by train. She'd pick me up at the station. My dad was on that train and was asking where I'm going. He had to get out at the same stop. Well dad, I'm gonna bang a girl I've never met before after I introduced her to you because she's picking me up at the same stop you're going. Even better would be if dad was heading to see her too. Like she had two guys coming in case one flaked or she wanted an Eiffel Tower. Treating someone like a therapist. How does that make you feel? That was hilarious. Upvoted. Bringing her friend along. This happened to me once, and I got right out of there about 5 minutes into piecing everything together and piecing out edit. You're gonna get played several times before that threesome comes. OMG, that happened to me like 25 years ago, and it was so awkward. And the worst part, they expected me to pay for both of them at the end of dinner. Edit. Since a lot of people are asking, no, I did not end up paying for either of their meals. Know a guy whose date expected him to order several to-go meals at a nice restaurant they were at, so she could take them home to her kids. That's probably the most ridiculous thing I've read today. How about this guy I knew who had his date require him to buy her a specific pair of shoes for the date? I thought I was trapped in an alternate universe as he told me, and he effed it. Actively looking at other men during a date. Like, mon. I don't care if you think someone else is more attractive or just attractive in general, but have the courtesy to not ogle and actively attempt to hit on other men while you're on a date with someone. I had a date with a girl who tried to flirt with a guy across the restaurant at the bar, attempting to sneak when she needed to go to the bathroom. Dude went along with it for a minute, came over when she actually went to the bathroom and apologized, letting me know she was doing that. Talked a bit. He ended up inviting me out with his group to see a game, since one of the group was sick. Ended up seeing Curry drop 38 on the Wizards instead of dealing with a shitty date. We still hang out too. Good guy. That dude's a real one. Do not suggest going to a seedy motel, especially if you drive a full-size conversion van. If you already have the van, there's no need for a motel. I beg to differ. It can seem kinda rappy. At least mine did, lol. Free candy is still free candy. No talking about your ex. Go away. No phones. Go away. Edit. I should have used the right word there. It's complaining about ex. Dated a girl who kept taking her phone out on a date. She even brought it up. OMG, I know I keep taking my phone, but OMG, I sometimes don't realize I'm doing it. In my mind, OMG, you're not getting a second date. OMG. 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 Shaking raised hands till neck. No phone. No talking about exes. No crazy dates or anything extravagant. The first date should be simple, and the date that you are engaged in learning about the person to see if more dates follow. I really enjoy a first date just walking through a mall or along a main street with lots of shops. I wanna be able to talk to the person and find out what kinds of shops they like, shops they don't, revealing all their interests and the little quirks that come out upon seeing something that makes them happy. Do they tolerate my excitement about Gundam models and video games? Or are they rushing me past the things I want to look at? Are their interests something that I might be able to participate with them at? That sort of stuff. External sources of stimuli to spark conversation is key. The whole movie date is so dumb. You spend 2 hours together not talking. WTF. I see this so often, and it confuses me. I thought the whole point was you go and watch the movie, then you go and have dinner and talk about it. The movie gives you an easy starting point to the conversation. I did one as a third date in one of those theaters where you get a couch. We just snuggled on the couch, ate pizza and drank wine during, then went to a bar after. Was great and we got to see a movie we were both interested in. Big difference between a first and third date. Flirting with staff. Don't care how attractive they are. Went for a date with this girl once, and our waiter was a very attractive dude. Whenever he'd come to the table she'd start fiddling with her hair and would completely zone out. She'd even get all flushed and jiggly. She kept looking around the dining room from time to time, thinking it wasn't obvious. And when she'd see him, she'd stare at him for a good few seconds and would completely forget what we were talking about. What an awkward date. Anyway, she sees him walk over to the bar, which was just slightly out of my view, and excuses herself to go to the washroom. Turns out she went to get his number. Dude comes immediately over to me at my table and tells me what happened. At that point I was like, fuck it, you can have her. He said not a chance, and that A, the bro code wouldn't allow for it, and B, if she's going to do that sort of thing he wants nothing to do with her either. Also he gave her some random number. What a waste of my time that night was. The waiter has all the makings of a top best friend, sir. I certainly hoped you tipped the guy before bailing. I'm a big fan of sarcastic humor, and it is my theory that most people are. But when you are getting to know someone in the beginning, it's difficult to know what they are joking or being sarcastic about, and what is genuinely their opinion. So some things should wait until you get to know your date better. When you accidentally let your dark humor slip on a first date and you say to yourself, "Welp, guess we know now if they are cool with this." Apostrophe. Oh, man. I work in healthcare. My humor is not for everyone. I was a cop for 20 years. Gals would ask, "Oh, tell me a crazy story." I'd say, "Not yet. I'd like a second date." Apostrophe. Hey, I want you to meet my parents. Jennifer, these are my folks. Charlie and Morgan. Had a girl ask me to meet her dad on the second date, and she got pissed when I said no. I was pretty baffled, like, "Lady, I hardly know you." What's funny is that depending on how old you are and what age you were at the time, it would have been weird to have not met her dad. When I was in high school, if you were a dude it was common, if not pretty much generally mandatory, that you met your date's parents before you went out with them. Yeah, that S is so weird in retrospect. I get that it's a situation with minors, but the whole song and dance is still odd. And when I was that age, it was still socially acceptable for dads to be overbearing and mash you shotgun dickwards. So it was always a joyful first meeting. I straight up denied a second date with a girl after she spent the entire dinner talking. Halfway through the date I stopped even trying to converse, but she just kept talking. This made me laugh. I actually like it when a chick doesn't shut up. Haha. Means non-awkward moments of silence. Haha. Yeah, not me, bro. I don't like when people talk just to talk. Don't stop to let you respond. Don't have anything insightful to say. etc. Yeah, that's fair enough. As long as it's interesting or enjoyable, I don't mind a woman that won't shut up. Haha. If it's just non-stop rubbish though, yawn. Stinky breath. Stinky body. Stinky clothes or hair. Being dirty. Showing up late and not caring / apologizing. Alright man, you seem to be very specific about those. Any backstory to them all? Or was it just one date where she came over being late because she was trying to get to the city center through the sewers to avoid jams and got lost? Unexpected always sunny? Bringing your poly boyfriend, his wife, and their kids. That was weird as hell. So, what role do I mean, look, I don't. You know what? You'll have a good day. Am I gonna bounce? Apostrophe. I'd stick it out for the once in a lifetime experience. Bringing your mom along. Could be interesting IDK. Having to carry all the conversations. If I ever become a person who could get a date, this will probably be my downfall. Maybe I'm just weird, but be very careful about making moves, I'd say, besides maybe a polite hug at the beginning. Don't immediately start holding them, unless there's been sexual messaging, and you know for sure it's okay. I'd chill on the physical contact for the first half of the date and let them get comfortable. Also don't force it at the end if they are not feeling it. It's pretty easy to read people and you can generally tell whether they want to be kissed or held. Personally I ask before I kiss them, unless the signals are very obvious. I've had like 3 or 4 girls that have reached out after the first date and said I really appreciated that you respected my personal space the whole time and stuff like that. Hopefully everyone does this, but I'm pretty sure a small amount of people do, and this goes for both genders. Not every man wants to F everything they see, so if he asks you to stop Fing, stop. Anyways, that was kinda a ramble. I hope it made sense. I'm very hungover. Have a good Saturday. It's pretty easy to read people and you can generally tell whether they want to be kissed or held. Joke's on you, I have autism. Reading people and body language is one of the things I just can't do. Drinking an entire bowl of salsa at the Mexican restaurant. That's living life to the fullest. Live Mars. Asking for a threesome. I saw a post about a girl who brought her friend on the date. It all makes sense now. Nah, I think they just wanted free food. Going on first dates at all when you are planning to move away and soon. Don't waste people's time. Ironically, a big mistake is going through threads like this and trying to keep track of all the advice while on a date. You'll just come across as inauthentic and inhibited. You learn the most from actual experience. Relax. Be yourself. Speak your mind. And have fun. Most importantly, remember that whatever happens, you can handle it. Yeah, some things are non-negotiable, but others rely on context. Like if someone brings up their ex briefly, it isn't a red flag. Don't wear your "I'm was stupid" t-shirt. Too late. Don't spend the whole night talking about your ex. It just screams you haven't moved on and are emotionally unavailable. Also, leave your phone down. If I wanted to go to dinner with someone on their phone the whole time, I'd ask my brother to get dinner with me. If the topic hasn't been brought up before the date, leave the politics at home. It almost always causes problems. I'd actually prefer that if someone feels very strongly about politics on either end of the spectrum, they bring it up sooner. I don't respond well to people who hold extremist "you're with me" or "against me" opinions. So please feel free to ensure I don't waste my time on a second date. Yeah, for real though. Maybe it's because I'm a bit older, but I also don't see a problem talking about if having kids are part of your life plan. If you're dating just to date/have fun, then whatever. But some things are just irreconcilable differences. Being an absolute douche with service staff. If you can't display even a modicum of sincerity with service staff on a first impression scenario, you're flying a huge red flag. Blowjobs under the table. Takes away from conversation time. When her father is in the parking lot watching you two go about your date. Happened to an old friend of mine. Not enough cowbell. Brilliant answer. Follow-up question. How do you politely suggest more cowbell? Talking about their ex a lot. A little is fine. I found myself doing it a little when talking about behaviors I want to avoid, rather than talking about positive things about her. Treating waitress poorly when a kid is around, if they find them annoying, or talk poorly about kids. I really want kids. It's a first date really, it's just a meeting to find out if you want a first date. That means don't pick out an expensive restaurant or some all-day play date. I don't even know if I like you yet. Gotta have an exit strategy for first dates. It's why coffee is so good. Simple, cheap, and easy to walk out of whenever you want. Saying "I think I'm falling in love with you" after the first date. Sex. Classic schmoss B.